What's up, guys? My name is Daniel Brown, and welcome to another episode of the Movie Madness Popcorn Review. And today, we will be talking about all sorts of movie news. So without further ado, let's get poppin'. Alright, so start us off, let's talk about the new song for Toy Story 5. Before you guys go ahead ahead of me, just hear me out. I watched the new Toy Story film, and I gotta say, it was better than what I expected it to be. All around great movie to go see, and it included a new song by Taylor Swift, which has been out for a while now. They released the song before the movie even came out, so as most movie companies do. And the song is called I Knew It, I Knew You, which, for me personally, I think is explaining the relationship between Jesse and Bonnie. Because Jesse, if you haven't figured out already, is a big part of this movie. While Woody and Buzz are kind of sidelined for this adventure, but they still play some sort of role. But this is more about Jesse, guys, okay? I want you to think back to Toy Story 2, where Jesse was a major character, to this one, where Jesse has completely stolen the spotlight. And I gotta say, the directors did an excellent job at executing this. It goes about everything Jesse's gone through because, she's facing this new problem because she's losing Bonnie to the device, and that's kind of how it was when she was with Emily. And so, it's just a thing that you still have to see Jessie struggling again because she does not want to be abandoned. You know how long she spent underneath a bed? Because Emily had grown up. She had done other things, found more things she was interested in. And so Jessie was eventually donated. And now you see her struggling with this new problem because that situation might just happen again. And so we get to see how she deals with this. And I think that the song that they made was exclusively to her. They made this song exclusively from Jesse's point of view. And by the end of the movie, which no spoilers or anything, but by the end of the movie, the song really does sum up their relationship pretty well, I will say. But it is not in the movie. They do not play it until the end credits, which I feel like is such a misdemeanor type of role. Like, if you have a song and you say it's gonna be in the movie, then put it in the movie. Like, cause most people, they do not stay for the end credits or anything of that nature. As soon as the movie's done, they grab up their belongings and they leave. And that means they are not paying attention to whatever song is playing at the end of the movie. Okay, so it's better if you showcase the song while it's in the movie. So that's just one complaint I had. But the song is great, the movie is great, and I probably will be doing a review on that shortly. So make sure to check that out. Anyways, moving on to something I'll only talk about for a brief second, but I did a whole review if you guys want to check that out. And that is for Young Sherlock, which basically is an origin story of Sherlock Holmes. And I would say it is really well written, and it has some really nice twists and turns. For those of you guys who have read the books or seen the films, it really does feel like you're living like one of the movies because they make you involved. Like, this is a case that anyone could solve. But even when you think for just a second that you have it, they toss a whole new problem into the equation, which I think is excellent. marvelous, I may say. So I think that is really fantastic. And on top of that, the casting is great. But I dive a whole lot deeper into this in my review, so make sure to go check that out. After all, the game is afoot. Moving on to the next big thing, the Paw Patrol-Dino Movie, which is the latest installment in the Paw Patrol franchise. And there have been 3 Paw Patrol movies. First one, which was, I'm pretty sure, Paw Patrol-The Movie. Then they had the Mighty Pups movie. And I think it's safe to say that these Paw Patrol movies aren't going away anytime soon. And with this new edition of Dinos, it sounds kind of fun. The plot basically is the pups and Riley discover this island with a whole bunch of dinos and a dog named Rex, who this is like his home. And Mayor Humdinger, who, of course, he's also on the island, because why not? And when he and a couple of architects blow some diamonds out, they awaken an active volcano. And now the pups must work together to save the dinos and protect the island. And I think that Marshall, the fire pup, is supposed to be the main pup in this movie. The very first one, it was Chase, and in the Mighty Pups, it was Guy. So I think that in each movie, as far as I can tell, they're going to have a pup be the main character. And it just makes sense for Marshall to be the main pup in this one, since he's literally putting out lava fires. So that just works out in the end, guys. That's just great to see. I can't wait to see how they do all the other pups. Zuma, Rocky, Rubble. I can't wait to see how they give them all each their own little plot. And I mean, Paw Patrol is a whole world for those of you guys who have seen the show. Paw Patrol is a whole world. Like they have a whole Arctic pup. Forgive me for not knowing her name right now, but they have a whole Arctic pup, a whole jungle pup. They have pups who live in certain areas of the world. So it would just be cool if they also included some of those ones, because they're not as popular as, of course, the main ones. So it's gonna be cool to see how this Dino movie works out. So can't wait to see that and so much more. And that releases on August 14th. So make sure to check that on out. And speaking of Dino movies, because while we're on the topic of dinos, we might as well just talk about this. The end of Oak Street. Let me just say that again. The end of Oak Street. And this is a new movie coming out, which is all themed around dinosaurs. And let me just say, it looks really great. I think it's wonderful that we're getting a dinosaur movie that has absolutely nothing to do with Jurassic Park. That's live action, to say the least. And it looks like it's gonna be a nice thriller. This is basically the plot is a whole neighborhood block gets transported back to the Jurassic era, and the family has to try to survive this new world. Bringing back dinos into movies may be the next big thing, guys. I guess we'll just have to see, because this movie also just so happens releases on August 14th. So we're getting 2 dinosaur movies releasing on the same day. Which one are you guys going to check out? I just might as well just stay for both of them, know what I'm saying? It's so great because I think, because at first, when I first saw the very first trailer they released, I said to myself, what are we doing? And then when the second trailer came out, that included a lot more of the dinosaur aspects. Because the whole theme is like it's a dinosaur movie because the neighborhood gets transported to the era. But like, if for half the movie you don't see the dinosaurs, then how can you say it's really a dinosaur movie? And that really brings me to something else that I will complain about: Disclosure Day. We'll talk about this briefly because I absolutely despise that movie. But do not check it out, guys. Do not check out Disclosure Day. Okay, Steven Spielberg, I think it's safe to say, guys, his time in the movie industry has passed, okay? Because when I walked out of that theater, I was not feeling it, okay? As you guys know, that Disclosure Day is one of the new Alien movies that has been released, and fact the movie, there's no aliens, guys. So that's like if I told you, let's go see a Spider-Man movie, and you don't see Spider-Man until the last 5 seconds of the movie. Yeah, that is how it was like. You know what I must say? I was not happy with Steven. I thought we were close. I thought we were close, man. So, but no, I guess he had other plans for the universe. And I would say it is not all that in a bucket of salt. So do not check it out, guys. I have a lot more complaints, which probably will be in a review shortly. Just give me some time to work with what I got, guys. Anyways, moving right on to the next big thing. One thing I do want to talk about briefly is that if you guys weren't aware that this year marks the 30th anniversary of the Space Jam movie, which and Warner Bros. Lately has been releasing a few merchandise for that. And I would say the first Space Jam movie is a great movie to like go check out again because with all these other movies coming out, Space Jam really just feels right, guys. I mean, the second one has nothing on the first one. Okay, Donkey Kong ain't got nothing on the first Space Jam movie with Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan. No, the new legacy has nothing on what they were cooking on. Okay. And as far as Looney Tunes goes, there's a new Looney Tunes movie coming out, guys. And that just so happens to be Wile versus Acme. And I've been talking about this movie for a while now because I think it's going to be the next big Looney Tunes movie. We had the day the Earth blew up with Daffy Duck and Porky Pig and Petunia Pig. And that did not get the kind of attention I was hoping for, guys. Because nobody was really talking about that. And I think it's mostly because it was not promoted in the right way. They showed one trailer for that thing and you never saw it again. So, and that was really disappointing. But they are actually advertising this movie. So that's fantastic. Okay? And it's not, and Warner Bros. Is not releasing it because there's some bums for real. Okay, so Warner Bros. Is now releasing it. Another studio is releasing it, so you better think dumb because this movie was going to be written off for tax purposes. And no, guys, because I remember when that news article came out that a studio actually had bought the movie and saved it. I was so happy, guys. I jumped up and down. So yeah, and they recently released a teaser trailer like last month about it. They already have a full trailer out there on YouTube, but they released another trailer to get the fans even more hype. And I think it really, like, the suspense vibe, it really works out. They kind of made it, like, as far as suspense goes, the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie, which came out in 2020, I was getting a lot of those vibes from that teaser trailer because it had a little suspense in it. It had a little mystery in it. And that's technically what Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers had in it. It had a whole, like, that you found out that there was something way darker going on. And it seemed like that is what is going to be happening in this new movie for Wile versus Acme. And I'm really excited for that. So, and I think it's going to be a great movie, little suspense, looniness, and mystery for sure. And speaking of mystery, the first look for the live action Scooby-Doo, which I've seen a lot of people talk about this, so I knew cause I'm a Scooby-Doo fan all the way, okay? For the new series, the live action Scooby-Doo was revealed, and as far as the audience knows, he will not be talking. But I sure hope that's not the case. Because if Scooby doesn't talk, then it's really not Scooby-Doo. And this is the first time in Scooby-Doo history for live action movies at least, where he has not been CGI. So this is definitely switching things up. The new series, as far as we know, is basically the origin story of the mystery gang who all meet at a summer camp until a mysterious murder happens and the dog may be the only witness. Sounds like a pretty interesting plot. I think it's supposed to have a more serious tone to it, but hopefully it still feels like a Scooby-Doo show. Because if they straight out bring actual murder into the picture, there's actual supernatural elements, and they can just go pack up their bags and get back in the mystery machine. Because that's going to make a whole crowd of audiences who saw the show and movies as kids upset. We know they're trying to introduce Scooby-Doo into this generation, but do it right. For instance, the Scoob movie of 2020 was okay. But the studio can do way better. Okay? The movie was good, but I felt like it was more of a Scooby and Shaggy movie, and everyone else, for the most part, was sidelined. So let's hope that they do this right. And I mean, one thing that I think also made the Scuba movie so big is that it had Blue Falcon and Dynamite in it, which they were big characters in the movies, but like, to think that the first animated Scooby-Doo movie that you've made in years is going to include Dynamite and Blue Falcon, and not even Blue Falcon, Blue Falcon's son. So, I don't know what we were doing. I mean, just make it an original Scooby-Doo story and people are still going to do it. Go to the theaters to go see it. I think that because, they added that superhero element in it. I think they were trying to aim for more people to see it because they added that superhero element with a lot of action, all that sort of stuff. But Scooby-Doo has never been that complicated before. Like, I mean, sure, they've had crossovers with these characters, but why is the first movie that they ever made, why was it a crossover? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me, guys. Okay, make it make sense, okay? Like, because I know that they have a lot of Scooby-Doo stuff that they can work with, and sure, it does not have to be like, you don't have to go digging into the archives and say, we're going to turn this Scooby-Doo episode into a movie, but add some twist and some other things along the way. You don't have to do that. If it's a original Scooby-Doo story and Scooby-Doo talks and the entire gang is there and they have the mystery machine, people are going to go see it. They were trying too hard to actually sell the movie by adding that little superhero element in it. But let's hope with this new live action series that they do it right. It's supposed to be releasing sometimes in 2027, so we'll see a lot more news dropping here and there. The entire cast for the Mystery Gang has already been revealed, so we'll see what else gets revealed, because we still have a year before that actually releases, so we still have some time. I mean, it comes out sometime in 2027, so we'll either get a trailer or teaser trailer sometime this year or next year. But yeah, that's some hype. And while we're on the topic of mystery, guys, I recently watched Sheep Detectives, which boy was I blown away. Which, for those of you who don't know, is the story of a shepherd, played by Hugh Jackman, who gets murdered and his sheep must solve the crime because their shepherd used to read old mystery novels to them. So they have the knowledge to solve the crime. Okay? And I think it's really a good movie. And just because there's talking sheep, it does not mean it's just for kids, guys. Because this movie covers a couple of serious topics in a good way. And it balances out, for me at least, it balances out humor and the serious moments perfectly. And it's not just shoving off an issue with a joke, which some movies have been known to do that. But this digs deeper than jokes. So like, the plot's good, the mystery's good, everything is good. So like, I highly recommend you should go check it out. It has the new actor who has a rose to fame, Nicholas Design. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And he made his big debut in He-Man, Masters of the Universe, which I will say was a pretty good movie. A lot of good fight sequences, and for those who grew up watching it, I think they will enjoy it. And even for those who didn't grow up with it, it's still a pretty good movie all around. I mean, one thing I have been noticing with movies is that they start the characters out in the real world instead of having the characters in their primary homeland or universe. They did the same with Sonic because he started out, he was in his homeland for a while, but after that 10-minute mark, he went into the real world, and that's how it was for the rest of the movie. And Super Mario, they did the same thing. Instead of starting him out where he was from, they started him out in New York, Brooklyn, which I would say the movie is good, but why do we have to start out the characters somewhere that's not their place? And they did the same thing with the new Smurfs movie, which came out last year, where the Smurfs get teleported to New York City. And apparently, this has been going on for a long time, because the He-Man movie of 1987 did the same thing. I don't know what's up with that, but that's what the studios have been doing lately. So yeah, so I definitely check out Cheap Detectives and check out He-Man. Both gorgeous movies, and I don't care what the reviews say about He-Man. That is actually a good movie. People just don't understand cinema like they used to anymore. Okay? Because if a movie like Encanto, let me say that again. If a movie like Encanto is the movie everybody loves because it has a whole bunch of witchcraft in it, then what are we doing right now? Because holy moly, Encanto, like anything Disney, of course, has witchcraft in it, but Encanto was doing it right in front of everybody's eyes, and they just loved it. They ate it up like it was a bar of candy. Like, it was a chocolate bar. And holy moly, guys, I just don't know how I feel about that. And speaking of chocolate, you've never had chocolate like this. In the world of Wonka, yeah, Wonka Vision actually has been making some things, guys, okay? Trust. They have released a new game show that is supposed to be releasing on Netflix. And basically, I mean, I've never seen a game show like this before, but apparently it's unscripted. I don't know if that's actually going to be true, because usually game shows, for those of you who don't know, it's all scripted. But this one is called Wonka's The Golden Ticket, and it is a high stakes, unscripted Netflix reality competition series where 12 lucky ticket winners and their chosen partners enter a retro futuristic chocolate factory, and contestants navigate physical, mental, and moral tests while an AI generated voice of Gene Wilder guides the chaotic, immersive gameplay. And I mean, I think it's cool that they'll get to actually explore the chocolate factory, and we, the audience, will get to explore it with them and discover all the things that made Charlie and the Chocolate Factory so great. I mean, because that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when it came out, was a pretty good movie. Gene Wilder really played his character as Wonka to the T. So I will say that it's great that we'll get to hear his voice again. Even if it is AI, it's great to hear him again, okay, guys? So let's not be bummed out about this just because they're bringing him back using an AI, okay? Let's not be bummed out. Because this sounds like a pretty cool idea. And if it's executed right, they could make more game shows of other things in the future. And I don't know why it took so long to get to this point. I mean, because that seems like people exploring the factory and having a whole game show about it seems pretty cool. I mean, it would be cool if they just had like a Wonka's factory somewhere where anyone could explore, like they have the world of Coca-Cola. I mean, if they had something like that, but with Wonka, that would be great. But the TV show also seems a pretty cool idea, so I guess we'll just have to see how that goes. And moving on to something else in the world, for those of you guys who grew up on the Magic School Bus, new project, listen up, guys, okay? They're bringing back an old childhood franchise, which I may say I think it looks great. There has not been any images yet, but there was a news article, and I'm gonna read what it says right here, guys. Legendary Entertainment and Scholastic are developing a live-action The Magic School Bus movie. Elizabeth Banks is set to star as the iconic Miss Valerie Frizzle and produce the film, with Detective Pikachu director Rob Letterman on board to write and direct the adaptation. And Elizabeth Banks is not an unfamiliar, guys. She's the voice of Wildstyle in the Lego movies, and she has played Effie Trinket in all four of the Hunger Games movies. So she's played a few good roles, and I mean, sure, there has not been that much things revealed about this, but if they do this right, because, there's many kids who watch the Magic School Bus who are now adults, and they're probably going to go see this because they'll remember the Magic School Bus from their childhood days. And I just think that's going to be so beautiful to see, especially if they do this the right way. I mean, there's been already so many live action remakes, but about things that we don't need to see again. It's been the same stories over and over and over. And no, this is not a Disney movie, so that's a relief, isn't it, guys? We don't have to deal with that whole live action Moana situation, do we? So yeah, but I will say that, because if it does good, guys, let's think about what other projects we could see. We could see a live action Team Omizumi's, which sure is kind of already live action, but just to see them bring that back, that would be something for the records, guys. Or Handy Manny, Doc McStuffins. Man, all those shows that we watched as children could actually come back, guys. Okay? Please let this be a normal field trip. With a frizz? No way. Oh. Okay, if they cast Arnold White front seat tickets. Okay, guys. So keep an eye out for any Magic School Bus news. We do not currently know when it shall be released. We only have that little piece of information. But guys, start to get hyped. And we have something for you Keanu Reeves fans out there, for he is starring in a Lego movie. So not much has been revealed about that, but because plot details are currently being kept under wraps, and it remains unconfirmed whether Reeves will appear on screen in live action or solely provide a voice role for the animated character. The project is on a fast track at Universal, as the studio is working under a strict deadline to get the film into production before their film rights to the Lego brand expire. And so, yeah, they're working very hard to get this out because if you don't release a film in so many years, they're gonna take the license away from you to have that franchise and whatnot. But rushing movies has never gone well. Rushing a movie is how you end up getting something that you don't actually want to see. So let's hope that they're rushing, but that it's still good, because they waited a long time to the studio Universal waited a long time to do something with the Lego franchise, and the first thing they decided to release was the Pharrell Williams biopic Brick by Brick, which I will say I have not seen because it does not look interesting. Okay, I'm gonna say that, like, no offense to all you Pharrell Williams fans out there, but what are we doing, man? Like, that you get the license to Lego, and the first thing you decide to do is, let's do a biopic. No, you don't do something like that until you've made a couple hits here and there. And they haven't done any of that. So now they're rushing to get a Lego film with Keanu Reeves, and I think it's gonna be a new project, so nothing connected to the Lego movie or anything like that. So whole new project, cannot wait to see what it is. But hopefully it's still good because it seems like they're rushing this, and that's not really a good idea. They really should have started on this sooner. But I guess we'll have to wait and see where the breadcrumbs lead. And something else that people have been talking about was that Lex Luthor's battlesuit was revealed on June 1st for Man of Tomorrow, but still no word of what it will be about. But as far as we do know, that his suit, besides it looking fire and excellent, we do know that Lex and Superman are supposed to be working together at some point in this movie to fight a greatest threat, and it's rumored that the greatest threat is Brainiac, the alien. So I guess we will surely see, guys. So Superman, how you feeling about that, guys? I mean, this new Supergirl movie released, and I've been seeing a lot of backlash on it. I have sadly not checked it out yet. I really do need to do so, though. But I've been hearing a lot of backlash on that lately, and a lot of hate. Why are we hating, guys? Why are we hating? So Lobo, the character they added, Jason Momoa plays, his character, because I read the comic book, and his character is not even in there. So if they actually changed the entire story, because it actually has a good message at the end, because I've read the comic book. But if they change like so many stuff that I can't even recognize it, then we might actually have a problem. And crypto better live. Crypto doesn't live, guys. I'm coming for you, Warner Bros. Okay, moving right along to a movie that I feel like has not been getting the attention that it so desperately deserves. And it's called Jimmy, which is based on a true story, and it follows Jimmy Stewart from his 1941 Oscar win for the Philadelphia Story to his decision to enlist as a combat pilot in the U.S. Army Air Corps during World War II. And the story highlights his wartime service, flying 20 missions over Europe and returning as a colonel while dealing with significant post-war trauma. And finally, it chronicles his journey toward redemption through his iconic role in It's a Wonderful Life. And this seems like a really good movie because it's the story of Jimmy Stewart. And for those of you guys who don't know, Jimmy Stewart seems like he was an actor, but then he chose to go into the war service. And respect to Jimmy, man. Okay? And it seems like along the way, a lot of people like say that they denied him the opportunity to go into the war because he's an actor at the end of the day. And they're like, we cannot lose Jimmy Stewart because he's such a big actor to us, the people. Seems like the people being kind of selfish about that. But yeah, but Jimmy Stewart seems like, because he goes through a lot in the war, and it says he has trauma. I mean, and then he decides to just after the war, he decides I'm gonna go back to acting, and he does It's a Wonderful Life, which is an excellent Christmas movie, and like only Jimmy Stewart could pull that off. Okay, and so yeah, that's really something that you should go check out. Releases November 6th. Make sure to check it out. And on June 10th, if you guys know Kenan and Kel, Kenan and Kel on June 10th released a new game called Orange Pop, and basically it's just like Warrior Match, but with orange soda. And the reason, for those of you guys who don't know, they chose to do orange soda is because it references their show, Kenan and Kel. Well, Kel has a big thing for orange soda. Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. Oh, is it true? Is it true? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, it's true. Ooh. Oh, I do. Ooh. So, I really think that that's fantastic. And the two stars have announced in the future they will be releasing a comic book that is titled Kenan and Kel Meet Frankenstein. So can't wait to check that out. So go check out the new game Orange Pop, now available on the App Store for free. Moving on to some Austin Powers news. Yeah, baby! Where Mike Myers has confirmed that Austin Powers 4 is currently in development, and it has been hinted the movie will be told from the perspective of Dr. Evil. And as far as Austin Powers goes, I can't wait to see what this new installment brings. Most of the original cast is still alive. Like, most of them were recently in a commercial. So that's just fantastic. So they'll probably all be brought back. And maybe some new faces along the way. But that's kind of all that they've revealed so far. Probably will release some more later. And speaking of Mike Myers, DreamWorks recently, like a while ago, released the trailer for Shrek 5. And it's not looking too promising right now. A while back they released it, but it has been getting a lot of hate. First off, I absolutely hate HATE, the new animation style. Like, why would you change that? Like, I know I get you're trying to do something fresh, but it's not working out, DreamWorks. It's not working out, okay? Like the animation style for A Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Whoo! Man, that really stole audiences away. But this new animation is not buying it for me, man. And second off, it really seems like they made it less appropriate for kids, which isn't the best thing since Shrek has basically been made for all audiences. But it seems like this one is going to be taking a different direction. But it still doesn't release until next year, so the studio has plenty of time to fix their mistakes, see what the audience is saying, and fix them. Just like what happened with Ugly Sonic, they can fix their mistakes. But they may have to prolong what day the movie comes out on if they choose to. If they choose to change some things, they may have to delay the movie, which I know a lot of people don't want to happen. But if we want it to be good, we want Shrek to be done justice. We want Shrek to be done right, okay? We do not want them to mess up our boy, okay? So that's what's going on in his world. And as far as other movies that are releasing, we have drumroll please. We got the casting for the new Tangled movie, which for Rapunzel, Tegan Croft is playing Rapunzel, known for DC's Titans. Milo Manham is Flynn Rider, known best for his Disney's Zombies franchise, and Catherine Hahn as Mother Gothel, which is known for Agatha all along, because it was Agatha all along. So yeah, and yes, I know all you guys are wondering, why another live action remake? And the answer is very simple, my friends. Money. Money, money, money. And I don't know what Disney's going to do, because right now the live action Moana has been receiving a lot of hate right now. So it's really not doing well. And I'm thinking if they see that this isn't doing well, and I know they saw the hate for Lilo and Stitch. It might have made the money you guys, but I know you saw the hate online, okay? So Disney may change some things up, hopefully. So, and maybe they'll decide that live action remakes are not for us. At first, a few of them were sticking, but after a while, it just went downhill, man. So, that's what's going on in the live action world. And bringing up something else that has not been getting that much attention is a new Bible movie called Beyond Belief, which is set in the 1980s, and it follows Andy. No, not Andy from Toy Story, guys. And he's a teenage rocker. He plays guitar. I always wanted to play guitar, guys. And he's chasing his dream of making it big while struggling to cope with the loss of his father. And when a mysterious voice urges him to run, Andy is drawn into an unexpected journey that challenges his ambitions, tests his faith, and forces him to decide what kind of life he's truly meant to live. Filled with heart, humor, and the iconic music of Petra, Beyond Belief is an inspiring story about hearing God's voice, trusting His plan, and discovering that His dreams for our lives are often bigger than our own. And this seems like a good movie for Christians and non-Christians alike. Check it out in theaters August 28th. It is a perfect mix between rock and roll and a teenager struggling with the loss of his father, which is something a lot of teens are struggling with in this generation. So I feel like this movie will relate to those who are missing a parent in their life. And it all around goes to show you that sometimes God's plans for your life are bigger than you could ever imagine. And sometimes God uses your hurt for something greater. He uses your brokenness in the end for something bigger than yourself. And I think that's going to be an all around great movie. I mean, Andy seems like he's also struggling with a lot of other stuff. Like his friends seem pretty upset with him at some point in the trailer. So, I mean, all stuff that teenagers can be related to. So I think that it's going to relate to a lot of the younger audience. So that's going to be all around great. It might be kind of like what they did with Jesus Revolution, which is a really great movie. So that's the kind of vibe I was getting from it. So guys, let me know if you guys will be checking that out. And in the world of Ghostbusters, we will reveal a few images of the new Ghostbusters series titled Ghostbusters Night Shift, which is set in 1994, 5 years after the original team, which include Peter Venkman, Egon Spengler, Ray Stantz, and Winston Zeddemore, after they walked the Statue of Liberty with the song Your Love is Lifting Me Higher. I know y'all remember that. I know y'all love that song. So New York is then, that takes place right after that. New York City is hit by a massive new wave of paranormal terror. The mess is inadvertently caused by a ragtag group of young, underappreciated New Yorkers who must pick up the proton packs to clean up their mess. And the narrative blends cinematic horror with the franchise's signature comedy, featuring terrifying supernatural encounters. So basically, a bunch of misfits who nobody really likes come together to stop all the supernatural activity going on, which they caused to begin with. And according to the producers, the OG Ghostbusters are said to be retired in the show. So if the show goes well, it could be a huge hit, and maybe it'll turn into something like Ghostbusters, the animated series, which I personally love. And this series can open a whole new world of Ghostbusters, introduce brand new characters, and maybe even introduce new ghosts. And maybe even Saliva can make an appearance. But I guess we would just have to wait and see until 2027 when it's on Netflix. We're ready to believe you. Alright, so moving right along to keep this train a chugging, we have something else releasing in 2027 too, which is a new Hotel Transylvania movie, and this will be the 5th installment to the franchise. And nobody really talks about Hotel Transylvania like they did back in the day. I mean, number 4 did not get as much hype. I think because number 1, it was not released, as far as I know, was not released in theaters. They released that one straight to a streaming platform, and I think that's one reason why it was not that known. And it was called Hotel Transylvania Transformia, which is basically all the monsters turn into humans, and they have to find a way to reverse it before it's too late. Kind of time crunching movie. We don't do this in a certain amount of time. You'll stay this way forever. And I think it was a really good movie. Had a good message. So go check that out. But anyways, let's talk about this new one, Hotel Transylvania. The Haunting of Hotel Transylvania. Sorry guys. The Haunting of Hotel Transylvania. And the plot says Count Dracula has happily settled into retirement. Mavis officially takes the reins to run the legendary monster resort when a series of creepy, unexplained paranormal occurrences begins. Plaguing the hotel, the Jack Pack must reunite to solve the mystery of who or what is haunting a place that already is packed with monsters. Seems like a pretty good plot. As far as the cast, only Keegan-Michael Key has been confirmed to take on his role as Murray the Mummy once more. As for everyone else, we will wait to see, but hopefully everyone else returns. And hopefully they keep the same animation. But if the team decides to change it, hopefully it still looks and feels like a Hotel Transylvania movie. Because the last 2 movies haven't really taken place at the hotel. So this may bring you back to where it all started. I don't say blah blah blah. Oh yeah, guys. We're gonna get Hotel Transylvania again, and it has not been, because not many people know about Hotel Transylvania because they have not made a movie in a couple of years. So I guess we'll just have to go ahead and see what this new one has for us. And ending today's video, we must talk about a legend. A legend who will be known for ages to come. Okay? On an icon who has left us. Sam Neill has passed away, guys, at the age of 78 on July 30th in Sydney, Australia. And his family says it was very sudden because he had been cancer free for some time now. And for those of you guys who don't know, he's best known for his role in Jurassic Park as paleontologist Alan Grant, and has played other characters such as old Mr. McGregor at the beginning of Peter Rabbit. You come here, Rabbit. I'm going to make you into a pie like I did to your dad. So, I think he played that role really great. And then he was also at the beginning of Thor Ragnarok, where he was acting as Odin in a play. So, and he will surely be missed, guys, okay? We're losing a lot of legends right now. Sam Neill is now gone. And it's crazy to think that because just a couple weeks ago I was watching Jurassic Park that had him in it. So it's just crazy to think how fast time can fly. Well, that's all the movie news we have today, guys. And it wouldn't be a movie podcast if we did not discuss the passing of a legend. Well, that's all we have for now, guys. I know there's a lot more to discuss, but we don't want to make this video too long. So, that's all. Until the next pod.